Hello, grade threes. So today I am going to be showing you how to make a modeling clay or plasticine velociraptor. Isn't he cute? All right, so what you're going to need is a little bit of white plasticine, not much, but a small ball. You need one small ball, 4 medium ones, and 1 large. So if you're starting off with a piece like this, you're gonna want like third of it to be a large ball, and then almost half of it divided into 4, and then just a little bit for your last piece, okay? You can use your toothpick to kind of break them apart. So let's get started. We're gonna put, you also will need 3 toothpicks, okay? So white, green, or whatever color you want. Your dinosaur can be any color you want because we don't know what color dinosaurs were. So, live your best life. Let your imagination run wild. You want a purple dinosaur? Make a purple dinosaur. Until we get a time machine, we won't know. So what you're going to start off with is we're actually going to start off with the body. So I'll just leave this guy kind of here to watch us. So I'm going to start by taking my big lump. I'm just going to start softening it a little bit. Especially if you're going from plasticine like this, you are going to need to soften it up a bit. Best way to soften plasticine is just in our hands. So, some little bits of white in mine. What we're going to start off with is making this into kind of a teardrop shape. So first, I'm going to roll it into a ball. So I'm going to use my table. You could also do it in your hands like this and just get kind of a nice ball shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of round. Then we're going to make his body into kind of a teardrop shape. So I'm going to use puppet hands. So 4 fingers on top, thumb on the bottom. And I'm just going to kind of pinch and turn to make one side more pointed. This is going to be his neck. So pinch and turn. I'm not putting it into a super point. Nope. Just kind of a teardrop-ish shape. And I can do a little bit of the same on the back. One side's going to definitely be pointier. So he's just kind of stretching them out. Raptors are kind of longer, skinnier, until you get a shape that looks like this. So puppet fingers, turning it with your puppet fingers to just kind of get that shape. Make sure it's kind of roundest in the back. You can kind of a little bit more on this side too. So you want it to be a shape like this. See how it's skinnier, my puppet fingers, wider here. So that's going to be the main part of our body. Now we're going to take one of our medium balls and we're going to roll it into the tail. So the way to make a tail is the same way you roll out a snake, except what you're going to do is press a little bit more on one side. So I'm going to use this part of these fingers to press a little bit harder, and I'm going to just roll it back and forth. Checking it as I go to make sure I'm not making one part too skinny. Just rolling it out. And if you use where you're pressing a bit harder on one side, it'll give you like this ice cream cone shape I got going on here. Okay, so wide at one side, skinnier at the other side, just like a tail. All right, I'm going to attach this to my body, not the pointy side, the rounder part. Put that tail on. Now, here's the thing with plasticine. I just do this, that tail will fall off. Just a matter of time. There's nothing really holding it together. So what you have to do is you're going to take your finger and you're going to smear. So smearing is just gently kind of pulling with your finger the tail down. Not too hard because you don't want to take the whole tail with you. Just kind of the surface. And go around smearing it down, connecting the tail to your body. Okay, you can just use your fingers to smooth it out a bit, but just smearing, dragging your finger to create the shape. Now, raptors have a little bit longer of a tail, so I'm just gonna squish this out to get the shape I want. Kind of should look a bit like a tadpole right now. Okay, next step is the head. So we're gonna take I'd go with whatever one of your 4 mediums is the smallest. You're going to take that and you're going to start by rolling it into a ball. I just like to do it between my hands, back and forth. If you do it on the table and you press too hard, you end up with like a flying saucer shape. We don't want that. So the nice thing about your hands is it's easier to not press to keep equal. So once you have a ball, we're gonna puppet hands again, and we're gonna make the snout. So I'm just gonna pinch forward, turning my hand. Don't wanna pinch too hard because then I'll just get a weird flat shape. Just gently pinching and kind of pulling to make like almost the same shape as our body to get his little head. Flatten down the nose a bit. Okay, till I get a shape that I like, where I've got the head part and I've got the front snout. I'm just gently patting to get the shape I want and using my puppet fingers to just pinch it out a bit. Okay, I'm going to connect this to the front of the body and kind of angle, like bend it a bit so the neck is pointing a little more up. Same thing, I'm gonna attach it and I'm gonna smear, 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 smear. All the way around so that my dinosaur doesn't lose its head. Think for the best if you want to. This is where you just kind of get your fingers and just move it around until you like the shape of his head, neck, and tail. So he should kind of look like this. But wait, you say, they had legs. That's our next part. So your last two medium pieces, you're gonna need those, and you're gonna need 2 toothpicks. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to roll these into cylinders. I like using my palm for cylinders, rolling it back and forth. You don't want them to be too skinny. You want them to still be kind of nice and thick so they can hold up the rest of your dinosaur. So roll them out. Now what's important is they're about the same size. So one of mine here is way longer. I'm just gonna use my knife, or you guys could use your toothpick to cut it down so they are the same size. Raptors have feet. So all we're gonna do is put it down and then just kind of pinch your finger down on it to the same kind of pinching thing to make a foot. All right. So push down and pinch. Just get that kind of foot shape that they have. Okay, now I'm gonna stick these two together. And now here's where you need the 2 toothpicks. So just to kind of help our dinosaur to stand up and not fall over, just like you have bones, he kind of needs bones. So we're gonna use a toothpick for this. I am going to push it all the way down until just the tip sticks out. So you need to make sure you have some that's still standing out. So push it down. This is why it's important you make your legs long enough. If you make them super short, your toothpick's gonna come out the top of your dinosaur. So make sure you've made your legs long enough that only about that much of the toothpick stands out. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my dinosaur on. So you kind of wanna just get it so it's in the middle of the body. That'll help it balance the best. So I'm gonna stick them in, just gonna push, and then I am going to smear, 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 smear. And you just kind of have to push the body around until you get it standing how you want. Yay! Raptor. We're still missing a couple things though, like his arms. So you are going to use this medium piece here and anything you have left. Just break it into 2 and roll that into some snakes. Raptors definitely had longer arms than T-Rex, so you're gonna want to roll them out a bit more. Not super long though. Again, if they're not about the same size, you just use your toothpick. The other thing they had is big claws. So we're gonna add those, but not yet because we wanna wash our hands before we use the white. So I'm gonna take my arms and I'm gonna just add them on here on the side of my dinosaur. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick it down, gonna smear it in. Then I can kind of bend it to be the shape that I want. Same thing on the other side. Put it on, smear, and just bend it to the shape that you want. So he's got his arms. There we go. Here we go. So we've got our raptor body done. So we're gonna use a little bit of the white now. It's important if you've used like a dark color, like red or black or blue, and it's left color on your hands, you need to go wash them before you use the white. The other thing you can do at this point is if you want to take like another color and add polka dots or stripes or whatever kind of pattern you want. We don't know what dinosaurs look like. Now would be the time to add all those. Adding the white is the very last thing you do before you say, I'm done. Okay, so let's say I added some purple polka dots to him. Now I'm going to do the white. My hands are clean. I was using green. It doesn't leave color, but some of them do. So just make sure your hands don't have any color on them before you use the white. So I'm going to take my white. I am going to make some claws. So I'm going to pinch off a piece. Pinch off 2 pieces that are about the same size. And I'm just going to roll them, same way I did the tail basically, into claws. And if you find they're just a little too long, use your toothpick. Break them down. And then I'm going to stick them on very gently, just pushing down onto the end of the arms like that. So I'm going to take the other one and do another claw here. If you wanted to, you could also add 2 to the feet because we know they had big toe claws. Okay, so he's got his claws coming down. And the very last thing you're going to do are the eyes. So you need these to be teeny tiny. Like, I don't even know if you can see that. That tiny, just teeny tiny. Because if you do big eyes, you end up with a bug-eyed dinosaur and it looks kind of weird. So you want to get 2 pieces about the same size. So I've got these 2, roll them into a ball. See, this one's way bigger, so that's going to look weird. So I'm going to add a little more. But they are teeny, tiny little dots of plasticine. I'm going to gently place them on the head. There we go. If you want to kind of add a mouth, you can use your toothpick, just rolling it back and forth to kind of make a mouth in there. If you wanted to just add claws like this on your feet, you could just take your toothpick and draw a line in between to give them those claws. Then set him down, kind of move him around till he stays nice and standing. And you are all finished. I cannot wait to see what yours look like.